Good morning, my dear students. In previous session, we learned about capacitance grading. So, what is the grading? The process of achieving uniformity of electrostatic stresses in the cable is called grading. So, what is the need of grading? The conductor nearer the layer having more dielectric stress compared to outer sheath. So if the conductor nearer to the layer having more potential distribution means there is a more chances of breakdown of insulation. In order to overcome that one, we using the grading. So what is the capacitance grading? Capacitance grading is nothing but so we using the different dielectric materials in different layers means the conductor nearer having more relative permittivity, conductor outer the outermost layer having lesser permittivity. That means epsilon r1 greater than epsilon r2 greater than epsilon r3. The main aim of capacitance grading or intersheath grading is achieving uniform electrostatic stresses in a cable. Now we discussed about intersheath grading. Intersheath grading. So this is a diagram for intersheath grading. So this is a distance x. Whenever the distance x increases, the potential distribution is decreases. Potential distribution and the distance both are inversely proportional. Already we discussed. So where we having the maximum potential gradient, if you observe the diagram, the nearer conductor having maximum gradient, the outermost layer having minimum gradient. The conductor radius they taken as d by 2. The first layer having d1 by 2, next layer d2 by 2, outermost layer capital D by 2. So they have three layers: intersheath 1, intersheath 2, lead sheath. Three layers. The voltage V1, V2, voltage distribution among the cable is V1, V2, V3. So this is a diagram for intersheath grading. In this method of intersheath grading, a homogeneous dielectric is used, but it is divided into various layers by placing metallic intersheaths between the core and lead sheath. So, we using the homogeneous dielectric material. So, how we using the homogeneous dielectric material means the voltage distribution nearer the conductor having more, outermost layer having less. Here the intersheath grading we using the same material, so depend upon voltage distribution. So the nearer conductor having more voltage means we placing more insulating material. So depend upon voltage we place the insulating material with same material. So in previous case we using the different dielectrics which having the different relative permittivities. Here the same dielectric materials that will depend upon voltage we place the one by one layer. So to achieving uniformity of dielectric stresses, the intersheaths are held at suitable potential. Already told that the intersheaths are held suitable potentials which are in between the core potential and distribution in the dielectric of the cable, and consequently more uniform potential gradient is obtained. So in suitable potential which are in between core potential and distribution in the dielectric of the cable. So consider a cable of core. So we considering one cable. So that will having diameter D and outer lead sheath of diameter capital D. So already they having in diagram we observe that they having number of layers, intersheath 1, intersheath 2 and outer layer. So intersheath 1 we observe that intersheath 1 the radius we taken as D by 2, small d by 2, next layer d1 by 2, next layer d2 by 2, finally capital D by 2, outer layer capital D by 2 we observed in the diagram. Suppose the two intersheaths of diameter d1 and d2 are inserted into the homogeneous dielectric and maintained at some fixed potential. So from the formulas we know the potentials of layers. So which layer having which potential, we have the formulas. From the formulas we can calculate it how much voltage in inner layer, how much voltage in outer layers. We can easily calculate in the voltage means maximum potential gradient we calculate. Based on that maximum potential gradient, we put in the insulating material. Let V1, V2 and V3 respectively be the voltage between the core and intersheath one. So V1 is a voltage in between conductor, nearer conductor to first layer. V2 is the first layer to second layer. V3 is the second to third layer. In between. Conductor to first layer V1, first layer to second layer V2, second layer to third layer is a V3 respectively. So every layer I have three layers V1, V2, V3 voltages of the respectively be the voltage between the core and intersheath 1, between intersheath 1 and 2, between the intersheath 2 and outer lead sheath, between the core and intersheath 1 they having V1, between intersheath 1 and 2 V2, and finally between intersheath 2 and outer lead sheath having V3 voltages. As there is a definite potential difference between the inner and outer layers of each intersheath, therefore each sheath can be treated like a homogeneous single core cable. Maximum stresses between the core and intersheath 1 is, so maximum G1 maximum, they have three layers G1 maximum, G2 maximum, G3 maximum. What about G1 maximum? G1 maximum having the voltage V1. What is the radius? The radius in between D by 2. That is the first layer. So small d by 2 log base C, the layer in between D1 by D. So similarly, G2 maximum. So G2 maximum having the voltage V2. So what is the radius? The radius is D1 by 2 log base C. The voltage difference in between D2 by D1. So finally G3 maximum also the voltage is V3 by what is the radius d2 by 2 log base c. So the voltage in between capital D by small d2. From the formulas we can easily derive the G1 maximum, G2 maximum and G3 maximum. Since the dielectric is homogeneous, the maximum stresses in each layer is same. This is a very important. The dielectric is homogeneous. The maximum stresses in each layer is same. So G1 maximum, G2 maximum and G3 maximum. G1 maximum is equal to G2 maximum. G2 maximum is equal to G3 maximum. That is a maximum potential gradient. All the potential gradient around the layers around the cable is same by using the different voltage, they are having different voltages. Depend upon voltages we placing the insulating materials, having the formulas already we discussed. G1 maximum is equal V1 by D by 2 log base C D1 by D, that is equal to V2 is equal to D1 by 2 log base C D2 by D1, that is equal to V3 by D2 by 2 log base C capital D by small d2. As the cable behaves like three capacitors in series. All the three capacitor in cable, all the three capacitors are in series. Therefore, all the potentials are in phase. Voltage between the conductor and earth lead sheath is V is equal V1 plus V2 plus V3. The capacitance, the total voltage V is equal V1 plus V2 plus V3. Disadvantages of intersheath grading. So in previous case in capacitor grading, what is the disadvantages? Using the different dielectric materials is a difficult in each layer. Here the disadvantages of intersheath grading is there are complication in fixing the sheath potentials. So sheath potential calculation is a difficult. The intersheaths are likely to be damaged during transportation and installation, which might result in local concentration of potential gradient. There are considerably losses in the intersheath due to charging currents. For these reasons, intersheath grading is rarely used. So next important topic is insulating materials used in underground cables. So everyone know the cable main material is insulation, because around the conductors they having more number of layers. More number of layers means armoring, serving, bedding, lead sheath, paper insulation. There are more number of layers depend upon voltage. If the voltage level increases, we using pressurized air, that is a SF6 gas, and also a oil. So the insulating materials are very important in underground cables. So what are the different types of insulating materials we discuss now? So insulating material properties. What are the properties are must maintain the insulating material? One by one we discuss. So high insulation resistance to avoid leakage current. So the first important property is to maintain high insulation resistance. So what is the insulation property that must be avoid the current, not all of the current. So that must have high insulation resistance to avoid leakage current. Dielectric strength to avoid electrical breakdown of the cable. The dielectric strength must be high. So then the breakdowns of are very less when the high dielectric strength having to avoid electrical breakdowns of the cable. High mechanical strength to withstand the mechanical handling of underground cables. Non-hygroscopic. It should not absorb moisture from air or soil. The moisture tends to decrease the insulation resistance and hasten the breakdown of the cable. In case the insulating material is hygroscopic, it must be enclosed in waterproof covering like lead sheath. Normally, in underground cables are lying in undergrounds, there is a more chances of the water, because in rainy condition the water is absorbed the earth they having, so it must be withstand that water. The cables must be withstand the rainy condition or heat condition. Non-inflammable, that must be non-inflammable. low cost so as to make the underground system a viable proposition. So that must be low cost, unaffected by acids and alkalis to avoid any chemical action. So what are the insulating materials are there? We discuss the properties. Insulating materials are normally rubber. We know that rubber is a very good insulating material. So vulcanized India rubber. Impregnated paper. What is the impregnated paper? A paper dipped into a oil that that will having more insulation properties. That becomes a impregnated paper that withstands the more voltage. Varnished cambric. Nowadays, frequently used insulating materials, polyvinyl chloride. These are the insulating materials. By this insulating material, we can manufacturing the cables, underground cables. The underground cables are very manufacturing is based on the insulating materials and the number of layers.